there are no redos. In Dynasty, you get one shot at the startup draft, and that's why today we're covering the 5 biggest new mistakes and how to avoid them in your startup Dynasty draft. We're going to jump right into number 1. Number 1 will be the most impactful. We're going to see it play a part in all of the 5 tips, but number 5 is the best kept secret of Dynasty. Each one is going to help you dominate your Dynasty Startup Draft for fantasy football. And the biggest new mistake, number 1, is being afraid to win the first year. I mean, somebody's got to win year 1. That means you're going to have to draft a team that's capable to do that. And the new mistake is focusing only on young players who have major potential. And drafting potential, we do want to do that at some points, especially in redraft, especially after we get our starters. We're like, let's draft upside, let's draft potential. In Dynasty, you want to draft more proven players in that startup draft because you don't want to draft a team that's going to be good in 3 years. That's a big problem. We're going to talk about why that's a huge problem here in a second. But drafting a team that's going to be good in 3 years, you might as well draft that team now. In 3 years, these players are going to be older. These players are going to be closer to retirement. Draft a team that can win now with the veteran strategy, proven players. Both younger, of course, that's going to be the first few rounds. The young elite players are the highest value in Dynasty, but the older proven players are great assets to your roster. The drafting tip, use youth as a tiebreaker. Don't draft like it's redraft, but use youth as a tiebreaker. For example, Bijan Robinson, a lot younger than CMC, even though CMC did outperform him this year in fantasy football in 2025. Bijan is way younger and has more years on his career. That's the obvious tiebreaker. But in round 3, if someone's avoiding CMC because he's a lot older, you may want to pick him up for your team and set you up with Bijan and CMC because that's going to give you a great shot to win year 1. One other thing, why it's a big issue to build a team that's going to be great in 3 years. Some Dynasty leagues don't even make it 3 years. Some people have teams, everyone gets hurt, their team is terrible, and then they don't want to buy in. You can't find someone to take that terrible team off your hands and join the league, and the league dies. Don't try to build a team that's going to be great in year 7, 8, and 9. When year 1, you can win and avoid that issues with the league potentially falling apart after a few years. That brings us to point number 2, which is one of the saddest mistakes you can make because it will ruin your team literally 4 years. It's overvaluing future rookie picks. The new mistake is when people trade away the startup draft picks for future rookie picks. Veterans, they do the opposite. You trade away those future rookie picks to get picks for this year. Think about a 7th round startup draft. You're getting a bona fide proven player. Maybe they're not the most elite, but you're getting a proven player to stick into your starting lineup. This year, there was pretty much nobody after the first round of rookie startup drafts that was even startable for fantasy football. They're going to take multiple years to develop, and the pick is in a future year. So you're grabbing a player that might help your team in 4 years, may not help your team at all, for a player you know will help your team. And the drafting tip is that most rookie picks, like we were just talking about, never amount to anything, even first round picks, especially after the first round. You can tactfully look for people in your league that overvalue rookie picks and try to steal something early because they're looking round for round. A 4th round pick in the startup draft for a first round rookie pick, they don't know that those are completely different values. The current year 4th round, much more valuable, and that'll set you up to win year 1 and in the future. Now, number 3 will win you your league if you can avoid this mistake and do it properly. It's refusing to draft older players. Noob players build entire rosters of players in their early career. Think about an NFL roster. Yeah, you want rookies. You do want young rookies. They're cheaper, but you also need veteran leadership. You need both on a fantasy football roster as well. This is a big issue. Vets, after drafting the elite young players, because obviously elite and young is best, but then you shift to the elite old players because like we talked about in point number 1, there will be players in your league who only draft young players. They're like, this is Dynasty. If someone's got at least 3 years left, so much can change in the NFL in 3 years. Think of a player like Najee Harris. Rookie year, absolutely insane. Top 5, I think maybe top 3 running back in fantasy football with Ben Roethlisberger. And now he's a bona fide backup just a few years later. Look for 3-year windows. Don't try to be a fortune teller looking behind that. There's a reason why NFL players get about 3-year contracts. A lot of players get 1-year contracts because you just don't know what you're going to get. So do not be afraid to draft older players that will help you win a championship in year 1. I do try to look for players with at least 3 years left if they're going to be a clear starter pick. A guy with maybe 1 year left, definitely going to be a lot later in your draft, but you know the rest of the league is going to avoid him as well. Here's the key tip here. This is the best part that no one's going to tell you that's going to set you up to win. You can limit your risk here. You can trade away these elite older players to playoff teams if you're struggling and get some rookie picks. For example, Derrick Henry, he's just got a couple years left, but he could help someone win a championship in the upcoming season. But if you aren't that team, if your team gets injured, it falls apart, you can trade away Derrick Henry to a playoff team for a future rookie pick, because they need to win that championship. They need to improve their roster to win the championship, and they'd be willing to give up some future rookie picks in order to have a shot to do it this year. So don't be afraid to draft older players, and if things don't work out in your league, try to trade them away at the end of the season to the playoff teams. Number 4, and this one has hurt me in the past, I'm telling you right now. Number 5 as well. These are both learning from my own mistakes that I don't want you guys to make, so you guys can win your leagues. And number 4 is forgetting to build the bench. And I'll talk about this in number 5, because number 4 and number 5 for me is where I made the mistake. But right here at number 4, the new mistake, drafting the starting lineup and then shifting right to rookies and developing players. It's an easy mistake to make. You're like, okay, I got my lineup set. I've drafted some older guys. Now it's time to just go all upside. The issue, the veteran move, is just like redraft. You will need players for injuries or bye weeks to win the championship. The drafting tip here, there's essentially no waiver wire. Your bench is your waiver wire. Teams have deep teams. Remember, you're holding a lot of rookies, a lot of young players, because you need to have options for them to develop. The waiver wire is essentially useless. If there ever is a good player on the waiver wire, there will be major competition to grab that guy. So your bench is your waiver wire. You need to treat it as such. Definitely get some young developing players. You are going to need them in order to win in future years. You don't want to take no risks, but you also want to draft some of those veterans that, hey, this is an 11 point per week guy. He's got 3 years left in his career, but he's never going to break out to be like a bona fide must start each and every week. He is a player that's not flashy, but he can help you out if some of your stars get injured. Remember, your bench is your waiver wire. You want to keep that in mind in your draft. If you're going to win your league this year and in future years, you need some of those bench guys that aren't exciting but can help you get a win. 5 is the easiest mistake to make. Not a lot of people talk about it because it's just easy to forget, is following redraft strategy for the quarterback. A lot of people in redraft, if you're unfamiliar, like to wait on quarterback, and me too. If you don't get like your Josh Allen, if you don't get your elite QB, you kind of wait to the end of the draft. Maybe you draft a couple and try to find the right one. That's a big issue in Dynasty for a couple of reasons. Now, I'm going to go the most in-depth on this one because it's just something people forget about. I want to just bring to the surface all those reminders. So the new mistake is letting the reliable QBs get drafted and then guessing who might be a good late-round option. While the veterans secure a solid QB, I like to go for some of the best guys like a Josh Allen that you know is just going to be good in fantasy football for years and years and years, who will be your most reliable scorer. That's why it's underlined, for many years in a row. Think about how many players, like I talked about Najee Harris earlier. You draft a quarterback that year. Najee Harris is insane for fantasy football, an early pick. He's now a backup. Your quarterback you drafted that year, still going strong. In 5 years, still going strong. You can draft a quarterback in their mid-20s or in their 30s. They could play to their 42. They could play for 12 straight years where you don't ever have to worry about the quarterback position. That is a luxury, especially when they're going to be your highest scoring player. The drafting tip here is improving your QB here. This is huge. This is the thing that everybody forgets. Improving your QB in the rookie draft is almost impossible compared to running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Last year in my Dynasty League, I got Kyle Monangai, I got Woody Marks, I got Bill Krosky-Merritt. After the draft was over, I was really targeting those guys, and as soon as the draft ended, I went and grabbed those late round running backs, and it looks like all 3 could actually turn into starting running backs for any fantasy football team. I may not need them because I've got Ashton Genty and some other decent running backs. That means I can trade them away. I got them for free. That almost never happens with a quarterback. That's your Quinn Ewers. That's your Will Howard. We're talking later round QBs that you can get at the very end that most likely will never have startable value. And think about even the first round guys. NFL teams struggle to find their guy. Sometimes they take multiple years to develop as well. Think about a Caleb Williams. His rookie year wasn't that great for fantasy football. Year 2, he was good. So you draft him in that rookie draft. That year, you were still bad. So you didn't have a quarterback the year before. Your team was bad. You need a quarterback. You draft a rookie. You're bad again the next year. And then finally, the next year, you have a good quarterback. So it's going to take multiple years if you find the right guy. It's essential. You have to get a good quarterback in Dynasty because they're essentially impossible to replace in the draft, because even if you have the first round pick, you may not even pick the right quarterback. If you have any questions on any of the tips we covered in this video, drop them down in the comments, and feel free to drop your Dynasty tips in the comments as well. We can help each other out, make each other better at fantasy football. Hit that subscribe button for more Dynasty and fantasy football content, and I'll see you in the next one.